but the reports that coming from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that Mohammed Sinwar has been killed. Now, the IDF carried out a massive series of airstrikes on the European hospital in Gaza a couple of weeks ago. They believed they had intelligence that Mohammed Sinwar was in the tunnels underneath that hospital, and they think that that was a moment that he wasn't close to any of the hostages, and so they took that opportunity to carry out a huge series of airstrikes, but there had been no confirmation whether or not they had got Mohammed Sinwar. Obviously, getting kind of any confirmation is pretty difficult because they cannot get IDF soldiers to the scene, and so they, and I'm speculating here, would have had to have relied on things possibly like communications intercepts to try and determine whether or not Hamas communications were indicating that Sinwar was dead. Now, if what Benjamin Netanyahu has said is accurate, and the only reason I caveat that is because there's been no official release from the Prime Minister's office, no official statement from the Israeli military. But if Mohammed Sinwar has been killed by the IDF, then that is very significant. Mohammed Sinwar was the brother of Yahya Sinwar. Yahya Sinwar killed at the end of towards the end of last year. He was the leader of Hamas. He was the mastermind behind October the 7th, and he was succeeded as the leader of Hamas in Gaza, at least, by his brother. His brother's, he was never quite the figure that Yahya was, but, he became the senior figure for Hamas in Gaza over the last 6 or 7 months. He would have been the point man, the main kind of decision maker for Hamas within Gaza when it came to any ceasefire negotiations. It was said that he was pretty stubborn. There were reports that often it was Mohammed Sinwar who would put in sort of late demands or try to change the terms of any ceasefire agreement. And so the hope has been here, at least, that if Mohammed Sinwar was eliminated, then not only would it further degrade Hamas's command structure, which already is in absolute tatters, but it also might remove an individual who had blocked some of the negotiations to try and reach a truce. So we'll see whether or not that materialises. There are lots of rumours around at the moment about a potential ceasefire being close. I have to say, every time it seems as though there might have been movement in that direction, that it hasn't actually gone anywhere. It tends to be the Israelis, but also actually, in fairness, backed by the Americans, saying that Hamas are not agreeing to the deal that is on the table. But the elimination of Mohammed Sinwar would be another success for the Israeli military, as they're looking to not just decapitate the Hamas leadership, but completely dismantle Hamas's ability to operate and function as a military force within Gaza, and also as a political force within Gaza.
Yeah, all right, Ali, for now in Jerusalem, thank you